There you go. Again, so I'd like to welcome everybody to Operation Entrepreneur Day 3. This is Business Impact's premier veteran entrepreneurship webinar training that is celebrated during National Veteran Small Business Week. And we, again, just like to thank everybody for joining us today. For anybody who's been here all 3 days, again, I really appreciate you coming back for this last day of training. Again, I am Dr. Chris Armstrong Going Sr. I am the Northwest Veterans Business Outreach Center Program Director. I am a Black male who is bald head, clean shaven, wearing glasses, and right now I have on a long sleeve blue and white square shirt. And my pronouns are he and him. So again, this is our theme this year is Together We Rise, Veteran Entrepreneurs Leading the Way. And we have a phenomenal program that we're going to bring to you today. But before we bring our guest speaker on, we're going to hear from some of the leaders in the Small Business Administration, one of our regional administrators, and then our president and CEO of Business Impact Northwest. Also, so you know that this training today is being recorded. So if you registered and you have to jump off the call, don't worry, we will be sending out the recording link to you. And if you have questions throughout the presentation, feel free to type them down in the Q&A block. If you don't see a Q&A block, just type them in the chat and we'll make sure we get you everything that you need, because that's what we want to do. We want to make sure you get everything, all your questions answered as it relates to digital marketing with our guest speaker. And if you got questions for our spotlight businesses, we want to make sure we get that answer for you. So with that being said, let's listen to our Small Business Administrator, Isabel Guzman.
2024 marks the 11th National Veteran Small Business Week, SBA's celebration of our nation's veteran and military family entrepreneurs and their contributions to our national and economic security. Whether they are creating local businesses in their hometowns or delivering the products and services needed to help ensure we have the strongest military, they are vital to our economy. Veterans employ over 5 million Americans and generate $1.3 trillion in total sales each year from their businesses. No matter where in the world, in what era or branch they served, members of the military community have one thing in common. They are trained for entrepreneurial leadership. They are hardworking, agile and resourceful, team-oriented, and committed to mission with unstoppable dedication. They do what it takes to get the job done. The SBA has supported the military community since our founding over 70 years ago, and we enhanced those efforts with the creation of the Office of Veterans Business Development 25 years ago. And over the years, we have continued to expand our offerings to ensure that the military community has a home at the SBA so that they don't have to go it alone. We've expanded the number of Veterans Business Outreach Centers from 22 to 31 in less than 2 years, helping more veterans access the business development resources, capital, and counseling they need to succeed. Last year, the SBA backed thousands of loans to veteran-owned businesses, totaling $1.2 billion. And under the Biden-Harris administration, their total loans are up 33% and total dollars are up 40%. And whether it's Boots to Business, a working capital loan, or our new Military Spouse Pathway to Business program, the SBA is committed to equipping our veterans and military community with the resources and support they need to succeed as business owners. And during National Veterans Small Business Week, we're calling on America to celebrate and take our veterans to the next level. Our resource partners are doubling down on trainings and outreach, and American consumers can double down on finding and supporting veteran and military family-owned businesses and their products. Veterans, we are grateful for your service and sacrifice and look forward to celebrating National Veterans Small Business Week in honor of all of you.
Thank you again, Minister Guzman, for those kind words. Now we will hear from Berta Yarse, who is the regional administrator for Region 10.
Hello everybody, Beto Yarse, Regional Administrator for Region 10 for the Small Business Administration, covering Washington, Idaho, Oregon, and Alaska. Happy National Veteran Small Business Week. This week is all about you. What you have done for our country while you wearing our national uniform and what you continue to do for our country by contributing mightily to our local and national economies. Thank you. Veteran entrepreneurship is thriving under the Biden-Harris administration. We know that the veterans are even more likely to start a business than someone with a graduate degree. You are also more likely to start a business than non-veteran. For this and many other reasons, the SBA has been marching alongside you, working hard to help you achieve the American dream of business ownership. The SBA is here to assist with what I call the 3 C's and the D: capital, consulting, contracting, and guidance to disaster assistance. We understand that small business face challenges, of course, but uniformed personnel, veterans, and their spouses face unique circumstances as well. President Biden recognized this as a sign and executive order to support military spouses and veterans entrepreneurs. The SBA now provides guidance and tailored resources to military spouses to help them to relocate their businesses and with their service members transfers to the new duty station. The SBA also launched a more effective and streamlined veteran business certification program that connects veterans to federal contracting opportunities. Veterans and their spouses are leveraging these and other initiatives to start and build their businesses. Your business are growing stronger. You are making a difference in our communities, and you are contributing significantly to local and national economies. Your contributions to the nation economy are as impressive as your contributions to the national defense. Veterans own nearly 2 million businesses that generating more than 1.3 trillion in annual sales. Those business employs about 5 million of our friends and neighbors and pump out annual payroll of nearly 200 billion into our communities. Our family of veteran business outreach centers has grown to 28, included the one open in Alaska just last year. The Military Spouse Pathway to Business is working closely with spouses on their entrepreneurship journey, and this is on top of the popular Boots to the Business program, which can be found on U.S. military installation through the world. As a regional administrator for the beautiful Pacific Northwest, I'm thrilled to see how many veterans complete their military services in our area to return after they serve to grow their business here. So many of you are flourishing, and they are meeting the needs of even more customers. That's seen in a lot of numbers. About 70 million of 7A and 504 loans were awarded to more than 130 veteran-owned businesses in fiscal year 2023. And early indicators of the fiscal year 2024 numbers will be equally impressive. Thank you for your service.
Thank you again, Administrator Yarse, for your kind words and your continued leadership to elevate and empower small businesses throughout our region. And finally, we will hear from the President and CEO of Business Impact Northwest, Mr. Joe Scott Tucker.
CEO of Business Impact Northwest. I am honored to welcome you all to Operation Entrepreneur 2024. I hope that you learn a lot about your business and get the support you need to grow a strong, financially sustainable business that can do all the things that you need for your family and grow wealth across the region. That's really our goal, is to help you all do that. I want to thank you all for your service to your country, and this is a small way of us being able to pay back that service by offering you access to these sorts of programs and services. So I hope you learn a lot. You're in great hands with the team, from Chris to Tracy and everyone on board in our Veterans Business Outreach Centers across the region. And I hope that you have a great time learning all that you need to. Thank you. And I look forward to hearing all of about your wildly successful businesses to come.
Again, thank you, Joe. And then more important, just thank you for your unwavering support to our military to make these small businesses. With that, let's talk about
CEO.
Let you understand that, again, there are 2 V boxes that cover our region, specifically that then Business Impact Northwest is responsible for: Washington, Idaho, Oregon, and the state of Alaska. For the states of Washington, Idaho, and Oregon, I am the program director, along with my team, for servicing the needs of our veteran community and our military connected individuals. And we also have a V block that's in Alaska, who's the program director is Tracy Willett and her team. Again, Michael's on both teams. And then also they have Melissa Wells up there as well. Now, this is what you all been waiting for. I'd like to introduce Jeff Thung, who is a digital solution strategist with JLT Web Design and Digital Marketing, a local minority-owned company that helps local businesses improve their online presence. Jeff is a certified project management professional with over 14 years of experience in digital media and IT leadership. At the Kent School District, Jeff leverages his expertise to provide an ultra user-friendly website platform and online presence strategies to help his clients champion their digital marketing efforts. Jeff led JLT Web Design and Digital Marketing to rank #1 in Kent, Washington on Google for web design, search engine optimization, and social media management. Has received numerous awards in the business community, including the 2024 Business of the Year for King County Executive. The 2024 Business of the Year Award, the 2024 King County Executive Minority-Owned Business of the Year finalist, the 2022 Luminary Award for Better Business Bureau, and the 2022 Torch Award for Ethics finalists. With that being said, Jeff, I'd like to welcome you to the stage, and I'm going to go ahead and start my show so you can go ahead and tell you what's Jeff.
Thank you, Chris, for allowing me the opportunity to join you. It looks like my background got changed. That's interesting. Anyway, I believe I have 40 minutes, right, on the clock?
Yes, Jeff. And if you need more time, just feel free. Just, I don't want to rush you. This is how, whatever you need to give to the audience.
Gotcha. Okay, let me share my screen. All right, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So help me move my screen so I can see. Good afternoon and good morning to those of us in the Pacific Northwest. I'm not sure how far people are coming along. My name is Jeff Thung, and I am so honored to be here with Chris and a whole bunch of other people here for the 2024 Operation Entrepreneur. So my name is Jeff Thung. As I said, the C is silent, kind of threw some people off. And I am an Asian male with salt and pepper hair. I'm wearing a 10-button shirt with the burgundy sweatshirt over it. I am presenting in front of a white screen with the Impact Northwest logo background, and my pronouns are he and him. Now, a little, as Chris mentioned, we received various awards throughout the years. That's because we believe that serving the community is the greatest honor that we can do. Are you seeing my slide, Chris, or are you seeing me?
I'm seeing your slide.
Oh, okay, great. Because Zoom kind of threw me off a little bit, thought I was sharing the same screen that I show up. Anyway, I started out as a social worker, by the way, with Seattle Housing Authority. And one of the things that my job was to help people get into career, advance in their career, get a job, advance in career, and start business. And one of the program would help at-risk youth to be placed at a job and nobody want to hire them. So my wife and I thought we'd start some business to hire these young people that just came out of juvenile delinquency. So one of the things I did was I purchased a website from a company that was supposed to help me market these business, and I couldn't get them to do what I envisioned. So I thought, well, how hard could it be? Could I go back to school, learn how to do this? That's what I did. I was working full-time, a social worker, running a restaurant, and went back to school full-time. Make the story short, I came out, nobody wanted to hire me because I didn't have experience. I got education. So I landed a job at the Kent School District, managing their web and app team, digital media team for the last 14 years. And that's where I got all my experience and in the digital media. And I had this passion helping small business in the community to thrive because I've been there before. I know how hard it is to be competitive or to gain a competitive edge. So we did pretty well over the last few years. You can see Chris mentioned our award here, but that's not really important now. Is really to talk about digital marketing. A lot of us know that it is important to get online, but understanding digital marketing, how do you get there, is a different story. Digital marketing is really the marketing of product or services using digital channels to reach consumers. Now, is it important? Well, let's take a look at today. People going online to get their news, socialize, research, find product, find services, play games, get music, books, movies, so on. Some people get married, some people get divorced, get licensed, whatever. It's all done online. So basically, everyone is plugged in. If you think about it, we all consumers of internet in some way or shape or form. Because of that, the world is online. Businesses need to be online, right, to compete with the big box stores and also to meet with the prospects that are hanging out online. Let's take a look at this data. Every month, there are about 10.3 billion Google search, with 78% of the internet users searching for product and services. So if you translate that, that's about that 78% is about 8 billion searches for product and services. Now, if you're a business owner and you don't have an online presence, imagine the opportunity lost right there. Here's a little bit more statistic here. There's a whole bunch here. I'm going to only talk about 3 of them because they're pretty critical here. The one on the right, it says 70% of households now use the internet when shopping locally for product and services. So once our consumers want to buy something, 70% of them use the internet to look for that product and service first. Of that, 88% of consumers who search for the type of local service or products using their mobile phone, they actually call or visit the store within 24 hours. Okay. And if you think about those internet searches we talked about earlier, that total US household is about 128 million. 70% of US households, that translates to about 90 million people are doing search online before they buy product and services. And 86% of those search convert to phone call and visit to the store, to the local store. So that's about 77 million, well, it's actually 79 million. If you think about a business owner that don't have an online presence, these are the type of opportunity loss that we talk about, right? So that's why it's important for us to come to have this conversation. What is digital marketing? How does it fit into your business? Now, I know when we talk about digital marketing, in your head, you probably think like this: wow, there's so many platforms, so many channels, and I don't even know which one to choose, let alone using it to market. Don't worry. Today, I'm going to only take you to focus on 2 most important digital marketing channels that you need to have. And this should be for every business. So here we are. Number 1 is a website. Yes, there are people talk about, hey, I'm using Google, I'm using Facebook as my website, but having your own website is the headquarters in the hub of all your digital marketing channels and your information embedded in there. And the second one is Google Business Profile. We're going to go into detail of all these, how they fit into your business. Now, I know when we talk about a website, there's so many things to think about, right? Getting a website can be overwhelming. There's like what platform to use and where do I host my website? What's its domain and so on. There are 3 things you need to know about a website. First of all, we're going to look at the 3 components, 3 major components. And secondly, we're going to talk about how to hire the right web designer or a web design company. And the third, what are the elements of effective website? Having a website is not enough. You got to have an effective website. So building a website is kind of like building a house. Okay. When you build a house, you have that infrastructure. Once you have that infrastructure, you need to sit it on the real estate. okay, a piece of land. Then you have to attach an address to your house so people can find you. A website is exactly the same. Building that website is that infrastructure, is that house. Then you have to host it somewhere. It's an internet real estate. You have to rent that from somebody to host it. Then you have to attach your address to that website. That is where www.yourbusinessname.com. That is your domain. That's your address. Once you get those, put them together, now you have a website. Okay. Basically, that's what a website is. 3 major components. Now, the most important thing is, how do you hire the right website design company or freelancer? There are 10 components here that we're going to go through: responsive design, support level, backup, uptime, commitment, meaning contracts, core web vitals, SEO, plugins, the extras, company portfolio, and for access to your website. Let's take a look at responsive design. Responsive design means you build the website once. It's scaled to fit your desktop, laptop, tablet, and mobile phone. No longer you need to build a different version for different platform. It used to be like that, but you don't have it anymore because today's technology allow us to be able to do that very easily. And if you talk to somebody who can't build your website with responsive design, they're outdated. They're dinosaur. Okay, so make sure you have responsive design. Number 2 is level of support. You need to have the level of support that you can access them anytime. Is your website uptime like 99.9% of the time, or it can't be down? And do you have to call somebody and wait for 2 days or a week? No, you need to be able to access them when you need it. So you can't be somebody that email and never answer you. Okay, backup. Backup is very important. You can't have a platform that if something messed up on your website and it's gone completely. I had so many customers come to us that they lost their website. You should be with somebody who has a backup, that if something happened today, you should be able to back up some your data that was last known good. It could be yesterday or the day before, to restore your website, so you don't have to build from scratch from the beginning. Okay. And contract, commitment. Today's world, you have people that require you to sign a 6-month, 18-month, 24 months contract to stay with them. I believe that if they're good enough, they don't have to tie you to a contract. You should be able to get your hosting from whoever it is, a month-to-month basis. So that's what you're looking for. If someone require you, tie you to a contract, you might want to consider, why do they do that? Okay, look for something that allows you to do month-to-month hosting. Core web vitals. This is really important. Google released something in June 2021 that impacted the entire industry. That is taking the loading time from 10 seconds to 2.5 seconds. Many platforms can meet that requirement because they're too code heavy or plugin heavy. So find a platform that is lean, that can load really fast. 2.5 seconds is Google's requirement. So make sure you find a platform that allow you to do that. Search engine optimization. You're going to see this again and again later when we talk about effective website. You need a platform that is engineered for search engine optimization, SEO, meaning the platform is built with that feature or tools to do SEO within the platform, so you don't have to add a lot of other tools to slow the website down. This is where the plugins come in. When plugin is a connection between your website and third-party tools to allow you to interact with other applications. But if you have too many plugins on your website, it slows it down. And a lot of times those plugins don't get updated. So let's say your website got updated, the third party didn't update their app, and the plugin's broken. Allow hackers to come into your website, and you don't want that happen, because we have customer come to the website one day, all they saw was just code. Someone hack into their, install virus in there, or write some terrible things on the website. So make sure your plugin, if you have them, it's always up to date. Better yet, get a platform that minimize the plugin as possible. The extras. We say this is the extras because there's a whole bunch of stuff here that a lot of website companies will charge you. For example, the goal of every website is to get more traffic, but then some of these website platforms will charge you when you have a lot of traffic coming to your website, or they charge you if you upload a whole bunch of videos, image to your website. It shouldn't be like that. It should be unlimited video, unlimited images on your website backend, and also unlimited pages, unlimited traffic. That's the kind of platform that you need to look for. Let's take a look at a portfolio. You want somebody who can show you what they can do, right? This is actually a website company's website that we took as a sample. You wouldn't want to have this person design your website because look at their website. They can't even design one that would be appealing, right? Here's another example. This is actually a real website company website that we took in, for example. Now, I would go for a website that has some portfolios like this. Look at their different design options that I can choose from. I can see that the skill sets that they have that in this portfolio. Full access. A lot of people come to me now. Well, they don't have access to their backend, the website hosting company, or the backend of their website to make changes, or their domain. Please, this is so important. You don't want to go with somebody who holds your key and never give it to you. If something happened to them, your website go with them. Make sure that you have access to your hosting, your website backend, and your domain, so that if anything happen, you have that access and you can give to a new web designer or a new web company to help you with what you need. So never get in a situation that someone hold your access as hostage. So that is the 10 components of how to hire the right web design company. Let's take a look at what are the elements of an effective website. Like I say earlier, it used to be 20, 30 years ago, you build a website, put it online, it's going to be found. Not anymore. Today, it requires a lot more. So you need to have a website that's effective. What is considered effective? We're going to look at all these 8 elements. First of all, SEO. You see the SEO is bold there because we're going to come back to that over and over again. Responsive design, mobile friendly, which we'll kind of discuss earlier. User friendly, user experience, customer journey, quick loading time, brand consistency, accurate content, updated content, and security. We're going to look at each one of these a little bit detail. Search engine optimization is the #1 effective website element. It is so important that your website, #1, the platform itself is engineered for SEO. So you can do SEO work within the website. And then the other part of it, your website need to be optimized for search engine optimization. That included the technical optimization and also the content relevancy. Google's looking to see if the website represents who you are, what you say who you are. Is the website content communicates that you are the expert in the industry? And Google's job is to deliver the best result to their customers. And if your website cannot communicate that, then it's not effective. So search engine optimization allow the search engine to see that. Mobile friendly. So it is really important to know that Google no longer shows your website if your website is not mobile friendly. When someone search for a product or services, here's why. About 40% of people will abandon the website if it takes too long to load, if it's not mobile. 67% are more likely to purchase from a website than mobile friendly. 74% are more likely to revisit the mobile optimized website. So that mobile friendliness is #1 factor that Google used to rank your website. User friendliness. So user experience and user interface comes really important. That you have to understand your audience as well. So sometimes you want the website to have simplicity. Sometimes you want to have a little bit sophisticated, depending on your audience. For example, if you're marketing to older generation, you want your website to be more simpler and also conventional. If you're marketing to younger people, you want your website to be a little bit more sophisticated and modernized. The way the layout has to be match what the current trend is. And thirdly, it has to be accessible to people with disability, because today's I know with the pandemic, it kind of opened this virtual space where more people are hanging out there and a lot more people putting in their information online. But yet 25% of US population have some form of disability. So we just put a limit on that 25% of the population if our website is not accessible. So accessibility plays critical role. It's also help with search engine optimization too. Interactiveness, meaning is your website built to interact with the visitor? It's not just a digital brochure. It has to ask them question. There would be a chat bot, and is there a form for them to fill out, subscribe to emails and things like that. Customer journey. It's really important to drive your customer to make decision when you have a website. For example, the website on the left is an old website of a restaurant, and we take that and we redesign it to the one on the right. Basically, if you look at the one on the left, when customer land, they don't really know what to do. There's really nothing exciting there. But on the website on the right, wouldn't you feel hungry looking at that platter and the lobster? And then right below that, we tell them it's on sale. It's only $19.99, right? So we take them through a journey. At the end, the call to action is, hey, buy it now or order it now. It's only $19.99. So that's a customer journey. We have to walk customer through that journey. Again, we talk about the core web vital updates. The loading time is critical. If your website loading time, it does not meet Google's requirement, it won't even show that website anymore. So strive to get to that 2.5 second is the key. That's the breaking point what Google is looking at. It's their requirement. Consistent branding. You make sure that you have a consistent branding across a different platform. This is where the responsive design is critical, because it takes the same branding from the desktop, laptop, tablet to mobile phone. If you have to design different platforms separately, you may miss that, right? So brand consistency is so important. For example, you see Coke commercial on Super Bowl, right? That Coke is not expecting that when you see that commercial, you're gonna get up and go buy Coke. No, that's not it. They want to show the brand consistency. When you see that commercial 8 times statistically in 7 different ways, it sticks in your head. And when you go to the store, you're gonna buy Coke. When you go to McDonald's, you ask for Pepsi, but they're gonna say Coke, okay. That's just the way it works, is that brand consistency allow them to plant that image in your head. Effective website number 7 is content. It has to be accurate, it has to be up to date, it has to be relevant. Okay, accurate information. So today, search engine robots are very smart. It will check your information against other sources as well. And it's also, most importantly, is your NAP, your name, address, phone number, correct from your website, matches other directories online. There are literally almost 100 directories online that list businesses. Whether you like it or not, you show up in one of those. And sometimes those information are not accurate, or it's not up to date. So make sure your website has updated information. Also, your content has to be up to date. What does that mean? Is it follow the trend? Is your information being updated? And every time the website get updated, it shows search engine that your website is active. That will allow it to index your website to rank you. Relevancy. This is really, really important, because right now, as recent changes, Google is looking for relevancy as a big factor. For example, it's looking at your title to see if your content matches your title. It's also looking at your content on your website to match your LinkedIn profile to see if the content is setting you as the expert in the industry, like what is on your LinkedIn profile. And also, again, I talked about earlier, search engine is looking to see if you're the expert and how that portray is on your content. And there need to be enough information on the website for Google to decide, or other search engine to decide whether you're expert or not. So therefore, when you write your content, you want to make sure that you write it in a way that will convey that you are the expert in the industry, so that if Google choose to display your website to their customers, they made the best choice. So you want to write the website in a way to gain the favoritism of the search engine. Basically, that's what it is. So number 8, this is so important, the security. You can't have a website that don't have security anymore, because every single day there are like thousands of viruses coming in, hackers and so on. So you want to partner with somebody who can provide a robust, secure website or server to host your website for you, because you'll never know. It could take a split second for someone to hack into your website. As I mentioned earlier, we had customers who one day went to their website, all they saw was codes, nothing on there, because someone had hacked into the website and planted the virus in there. How do you know your website is secure? It's when you see that it has HTTPS, meaning it's secure, or it has that little lock on the URL, that means it's secure. And how do you secure your website? You have to get a SSL certificate to prove to visitors that your website's secure. So when someone visits your website, the browser is going to check the SSL certificate. If your website's not secure, it's going to tell your visitor this website's not secure. They may just leave your website, or better, worse yet, if you are e-commerce and you are taking payment online and your website's not secure, that would be the worst. But most payment processes won't let you even apply for being their vendor to use their processing payment platform if you don't secure your website. So that is so important there. Make sure it's secure. Now, those are the 8 elements to make your website effective. There are other little ones here and there, but I believe those are the major ones that can help you. If you can do all those, you would be ahead of your competitors if they didn't do any of those. Now, that's the first channel that we talk about, is your website. How it is really important to have a website, and not only having a website, but having an effective website. The second most important channel is Google Business Profile. It used to be called Google My Business. Now, a lot of people don't take advantage of this. Statistically, if you set up your Google Business Profile and you optimize it, it could give you a 10% boost on your business. And we can look at some statistics in a little bit. What is Google Business Profile? Well, a Google Business Profile is a tool that enables small business owners to manage and enhance their online presence on Google. It is a free and powerful tool for local marketing, helping business improve visibility, reach more customers, optimize their online presence on Google Maps and Google Search. Now, a lot of people don't know that when you search online, there are many apps come together to bring you the results. And when you're a business, you want to make sure you show up on the search and on the the maps. And a lot of times people just showing up on one and think they're on all of them. No, that's not true. So make sure you show up on both. So with this tool, business can engage with customers, showcase their business, gain insights about the customer, their audience, and local search performance, and track various metrics. So it is really important to know how your customers behave, where they came from, and And this platform will allow you to do that. Now, we talk about how your business can increase by 10% if you have Google Business Profile and set up. Okay. It's a free platform, remember. Like in the old days, we had Yellow Page. A lot of business would pay like thousands of dollars to have one full page of ad on the Yellow Page. Essentially, Google Business Profile is the same thing. You're getting a full page ad on digital Yellow Page and doesn't cost you anything. So if someone call you and say, hey, we'll charge you, or you need to pay for your Google profile, those are scam. Okay, so you shouldn't have to pay for this. The reason you can increase your business by 10% by having Google Business Profile is that by using Google Business Profile for local search, business contacts information increase by 64%, because that's easy for people to access your contact information, your business information is on Google. So if they search on Google and nothing shows up about you, well, you missed the opportunity. But if you have profile there, it will be the first thing show up with your contact information. Shoppers using Google for research and on purchase in store and online increased by 59% when you have Google Business Profile. Website visit increased by 54% when you have Google Business Profile, because those visits are sent by Google Business Profile. So if you have a Google Business Profile list on online directory listing as well, you have 1,000 more times per month of visit to your listing. If you have a Google profile, you receive 100 more phone calls. 60% of the business will receive 100 phone calls more per month. And of course, Google Business Profile allow business to request appointments directly there. You get about 45% increase right there. So there's a lot of advantage of having this tool to be part of your business marketing channel. Here are some benefits for having a Google Business Profile. It's your first impression. Like I say, when someone searches for product or services, your profile shows up. How you present your profile is really important. This is what we call optimizing your business profile on Google. It enhances your discoverability, because being on Google Business Profile, Google used that as #1 factor to rank you and to show up. So if you're on there, obviously you're going to be more visible. If you're doing any local SEO, having Google Business Profile will enhance that. Of course, having accurate business information list on there is really important for prospects and customers. It's convenient for customers because it's right there. They don't have to search for your information. Trust and credibility. Now, once you have a profile, you want to start gathering reviews. Reviews are a big factor for ranking. So when someone lands on that page, they see your profile and they see how well your reviews are. That will give them the confidence to trust your company. And it's also engage customers. There are different ways to engage customer. Review is one. Allow people to read through the reviews. You can do a Q&A on Google Business Profile. You can post events, promotions there. There allow you to see customer behavior as well, because how people interact you have that insight in your back end. You have control over your brand. A lot of people don't understand that if you don't create Google Business Profile or Yelp profile, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Other people can create for you. When that happens, usually it's bad news. Someone use your service, they don't like it, they go to give you a bad review and you don't exist, so they create one for you. Now you have to go claim it if that happened. So make sure you have your own, create your own profile. You can showcase your product and services there. Inside that is like your web page. You can build product there. You can promote your products there. You can list your service there. The more you put in there, the better for Google to understand your business and to rank you. Again, it's free advertising. If your competitor don't have it, you have the edge over your competitors. So make sure you set up one. How do you do that? Well, I'm not going to read through all these, but I'm going to let you take a screenshot. These are the steps that you can take to properly set up your Google business profile. First of all, you want to check to see if you already have one. If you have one and you didn't set it up, again, that means somebody else created for you. So therefore, you need to go claim that business listing. Okay, it's really important. And if you don't have one, you need to set up one. Once you set it up, you go to the Business Profile Manager. And if you don't have it, go there and claim it and enter all your information. Google's going to want to verify your information to make sure that you own the business and business is legitimate. And once you verify your business, then it will allow you to optimize, complete all your profile, including your product and services, and it will show it to the public. Before you verify, it won't allow you to show it to the public. Okay. Once you get all that done, then you can optimize it. What does that mean? That means get some reviews, make sure the categories are correct, make sure your product services enter correctly, have your social media link, your website link, upload your photos, your image, and all the reviews and any updates about your business. Put on there that shows activity, interactivity, any updates that you can do that engages the audience. So then gather as much reviews you can. Reviews are so important for ranking. Make sure you do that. All right, I went really fast. I don't know if the opportunity for people to ask questions. I saw a whole bunch of chat there. Let me look at that real quick. Okay, so post your questions in the questions section. So let me see. Are there any questions, Chris?
Right now, I answered the one question that was in there. I just want to, again, remind the audience that, again, Jeff has over 14 years of experience in this particular space. So again, we want to make sure we leverage that and ask our questions. For everybody who's on the call, if you're thinking about getting into the small business space or becoming an entrepreneur or a solopreneur, you're going to have a digital footprint. So this is a great opportunity for you to ask your questions of Jeff. But while you're thinking about your questions, I got a couple of questions for you, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
So for that brand new startup, is there a price range that a brand new startup should be considering? Because capital is a commodity, and they might not have a lot of funds. So is there a price range for that startup they need to consider that can cover everything that you just was going over?
Mm-hmm. So I would say for us, I can't speak with other people, but if you get a 5-page website, we can build from scratch, custom built to your nature. It'd be about $2,100. And then if you have more pages, it would be more. If someone come in and say, hey, I just started my business, I got no money, but I do have to have online presence. Get a Google business profile set up. It will do you a lot more than not have that. And then have your LinkedIn and your Facebook, Instagram linked to that. And then later when you build the website will start interact with Google business profile to help with the ranking.
Got you. And then you said inside of the presentation, you said it was key that when you're going to look for a digital consultant or anybody to put your website together, that you have full access to the front end and back end. Can you just speak a little bit more about that, and then just help the audience, really understand how they go about? I got the 10 pieces looking for the person, but if somebody didn't see this presentation, how are they going to know that they need full access?
Okay, so what I would do, these are the questions you ask them. Can I have full access to my backend of my website? Can I have full access to the hosting location? Do I have full access to my domain? If you don't, so what happened is a lot of freelancers don't have capability to purchase separate hosting location for you. They're going to put your hosting with other websites. So when they allow you to access the website backend, you are actually accessing other people's backend. They don't want you to do that. But that's the environment you don't want to be in, where your website is lumped with other people. You want your own dedicated service. And therefore, if they do that, they should be able to give you ability to access the backend. Basically, it's a login that go to the backend to edit your website, or go to the backend to configure your DNS to work with your website with the hosting company and all the domain where your website address is. You can not have access to those, because the one piece, if you don't have access to it, it will cause effect on the other pieces. Make sure you have access to all those. I hope that answers your question.
Absolutely, and we do have a question in the Q&A. It says, what's your advice starts to new entrepreneurs on running Google ads? When would you advise a new business owner to start or to consider paying for ads?
Okay, very good question. We do sell Google ads, but I always talk about not starting with the Google ads. Here's why. Number one, Google ad is not fit for all. So you need to talk to somebody like me. You can book a free consultation with me to analyze your situation, who you're marketing to before you're launching an ad, because there may be other platforms better for you or cheaper. Now, the industry changes, technology changes rapidly, and someone does not understand that will be paying a lot of money out there for something that they're not getting the return on their investment. I'll give you an example. Google ad is one of those things that have been, we've seen the down trend of return on the investment. And that's why Google is actually launching other advertising services like Google Guarantee, for example, local service ads. You can do lead generation, which is a lot cheaper nowadays than a couple of years ago, to be able to track who's actually searching for your product and services, then do retargeting. That's a lot cheaper than Google ad. So I suggest go talk to somebody first before you start paying for Google ad or Facebook ads.
All right, thanks, Jeff. So again, I don't see any more questions, but I would ask you this, Jeff, just as a favor to Chris, and for those small business owners that showed up, our veterans who showed up today. Hold on, we do have another question. If we have a more established business, how often ideally should our website and Google business page be updated, Jeff?
Your website should be updated. I would say if you are looking to rank, you need to update it on a weekly basis. And you may not have things to update on a weekly basis on your website. Do like blog posts. It's a really good lead magnet, a blog posting. And with the Google Business Profile too, you can do events, or just do something that allow the search engine to see that your website is active. Okay. And I think you were going to ask a question, Chris.
Yeah, I was going to ask again. I'm a big proponent of people who show up to events. Again, you provided tons of information in the presentation, but if you would be willing to just share one or two gems for those that showed up today that was not inside the presentation that could help their digital profile.
A one advice, one gem. Okay. Well, let me give you this. I gave this to another place that I gave a presentation. I am offering a comprehensive online assessment for free for those that show up today. It's a $1,500 value. For those of you who want a website, we are also offering a package for $300 off. And for SEO, we're offering $25 off per month, and I can send those certificates to you. I didn't have a mate for this event. We offer it to the CARE community, those that will allow people to come and talk to me, the free assessment thing, package, talk to me at no cost, whether there's something they can do. The question earlier was a good example, Google Ads. Before you jump to Google Ad, that consultation will help you make decision which direction to go.
Yeah, okay, I appreciate that, Jeff. So just so everybody on the call understands, what's gonna happen is, at the completion of the today's webinar, maybe within a couple of days, you will, because you registered, you will receive a copy of the recording. And then when we send that recording out, once I receive anything from Jeff that we just spoke about, that will be also included inside of that package when we send it out to you. So again, if you wanted to take advantage of that, and have your website, scanned and looked at over by a professional, 14 years of experience at no cost to you, then you would take advantage of those certificates that Jeff just mentioned. So again, since I don't see any additional questions, we can move on to the next part. And Jeff, if you wanted to stay on as I talk to some of our spotlight businesses, you're more than welcome to stay on and add any additional things because you are a small business owner, so you might have some additional words of wisdom that you want to share with the audience while I'm talking to our spotlight businesses. And I see your comment. Was it Taz Gomez? Again, as long as you register, you will get the information that Jeff was speaking to earlier. And so again, Jeff, if you wanted to stay on with our spotlight businesses, we're not going to take a break. So Bo, if you could promote Tiffany Williams, Darcy Brewington, and then Steve Swihart to panelists, we can get right to this Q&A.
Sounds good. I'll hang out here for a little bit so I can learn more about what you guys are doing.
I appreciate that, Jeff.
Sorry, Chris, who was the second person?
It's Darcy Brewington.
Darcy. Got it.
And you can stop, if you can stop sharing, Jeff, that would be great. Thank you. Okay, I got Tiffany, I got Steve. And I think Darcy's getting ready to come in. There we go. So everybody's mic is working. So what we're gonna do is let me see some. Keandra, I'll answer that question here in just a little bit. And I want you to make sure I see your question in the chat. There you go, Darcy. So again, what we want to do for all our audience members is we just want you to see that there are veterans and military connected individuals who are out here in the space operating and doing great things. And so we just want you to hear some of their journey and maybe again, take some words of wisdom from these individuals who are out here in the space actually doing this entrepreneurship, solopreneurship, being business owners. So we want to make sure you see real people. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Tiffany Williams. Tiffany's the CEO of Progress LLC. So Tiffany, you can come on, go ahead, unmute yourself, tell the people about your business and a little bit about yourself, please.
Hi, Dr. Chris. How are you? Nice to see you.
Yeah, you too.
I am Tiffany. I am one of the owners of veteran-owned business. My business is Progress LLC, actually with Steve, who is one of the other panelists here today. I am a professional organizer and chronic disorganization specialist, and I service in the Treasure Valley, which is Boise and surrounding areas. I help veterans every week, multiple times a week, sometimes inside their home, helping them with paring down, assisting with possibly decades worth of clutter, helping sometimes with more escalated situations of excessive clutter, health and safety issues, as well as move management and those sort of things. So thank you very much for having me today, and I appreciate being here.
All right, and Tiffany, if you would for our audience, can you
Sure.
your physical characteristics?
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. I forgot that part. Hi, I'm Tiffany. I'm a white female. My hair color is brown. I'm wearing glasses, black shirt. My screen is mostly cream with a tree in the background, and my preferred pronouns are she, her.
All right, thank you, Tiffany. Moving on to you, Steve. I know you're the co-owner of Progress LLC, but we're gonna let you talk about deluxe cabinets and woodworking. You gotta unmute yourself, Steve.
That's always a good idea.
There you go.
I'm Steve Swihart. I'm a white, bald, with salt and pepper beard and glasses, sometimes for reading at least. I'm wearing a gray shirt with the operation entrepreneur background, and my pronouns are he and him. What my business is I do inside the house organization through our DBA, which is Deluxe Cabinets and Woodworking. So do custom garages, closets, and whatnot is needed inside the home. I'm a veteran as well, and just proud to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. And then Darcy.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Absolutely, sir.
Okay, Darcy Brewington, what hair I have left is gray. I am wearing a blue shirt. He, him works for me, or hey, you for most of the parts. I'm Native American. I'm a C-130 pilot. Once a pilot, always a pilot. Spent 13 years active duty military. And what I do is, because I was one of the first in the early days graduates of the Air Force Academy, I'm somewhat of a, well, won't say lone eagle, but there's not many of me that were made. So most of my business is working with Native-owned veterans, Native-owned veteran businesses, helping them get their certifications, whether it's through the SBA or veterans businesses or through the states, working on their capability statements, working with them to draw on their military experience on how that can relate to running a business. And for the most part, those of us that were in the military, we know what now means. So being prompt, being responsive, some of those things, no matter what your MOS or AFSC was in the military, there's aspect of military training that can directly go into capability statement. So helping small businesses develop their speaking confidence, their presentations, their marketing skills, and how to network is what I do.
Absolutely. Darcy, since you're on camera right now, we're just gonna go ahead and ask you this first question, Darcy. So can you tell the audience what is your favorite part of being a small business owner?
Well, geez, you only have to work half days. You just get to choose which 12 hours you want to work. And so what I tell people, my favorite part is the flexibility. And I've had folks come to me that think that as a business owner, they can set their own hours. And I tell them, if your name is on the bottom line or your name is on the door, you're on the clock 24/7, 7 days a week. So you may have a project that explodes. So weekends, holidays, anniversaries, birthdays, all of those go out the window if you're providing a service to your client and you tell them that your client needs comes first, then you have to be responsive to your client's needs. And so it's kind of really enjoyable to see the fruits of your labor, to see something that comes about, a project that has been completed, or have a client call you and say, that was the best thing since sliced bread.
I appreciate that, Darcy. Steve, I see you on mute, so you go ahead. That's the same question to you. What's your favorite part about being a small business owner, Steve?
Sure thing. Darcy kind of stole my thunder there, but being flexible, honestly, is it's good and bad, but it's definitely my favorite when it's good. To set the hours to when I work, which is you could work, 24/7, and I feel like I've done that in the past. But and also it's making my own rules as we go. So what I do, how we're able to flex quickly. When I worked in corporate America for so many years, you can't be that flexible. you can be a little bit flexible depending on your manager or if you're the manager. But when you're the owner and this is, everything rides on you performing with your employees and et cetera, to be able to be flexible and to make those own rules as we go really helps. I'm not confined to this is exactly what we do and that's it. So that's my favorite part.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, Steve. Tiffany?
I'll have to agree with what both gentlemen said already. And I absolutely agree with the flexibility portion. For me, being able as the owner to make some decisions, especially when it affects the clients that I serve, is very helpful. I do sometimes get some very difficult situations and collaborating with others for veterans in the community to be able to say, this is how I want to help, and to not have to worry about that causing trouble for someone else, because at the end of the day, it is me and the services that I provide. And I definitely feel that being able to see improvement in the home on a one-on-one kind of situation is so rewarding, and I'm glad that I'm able to do that as a small business owner.
Absolutely. And just since you're still on camera, share with the audience again your favorite part of being a small business owner.
I agree to all what was said. Although there's one area that I would say the most enjoyable part is helping a business owner achieve something that they struggle for a while. I'll relate with a quick story. I have a business owner that owns 2 businesses. They work with a SEO company trying to get ranking for 3 years. They couldn't get anywhere. They came to us and we worked with them for 3 months. We still couldn't get anywhere. So we came together with our team and sat down and really look into their situation. We found out their own business creating adverse effect against each other on Google that cannot rank one or the other. So we came to them and we asked them, they've been around for 30 years. So we asked them, Mr. Business Owner, we'd like you to change your business name. And they're like, what the heck are you talking about? We've been around for 30 years with this name. So we say, we understand, but we allow them not to pay us if they don't believe that this is going to work. So they didn't pay us for 3 months, but in 3 months, we were able to get them to number 1 of 3 of the 5 keywords that they were trying to rank. And now they come back and say, hey, can you do that to our business number 2? So that's the kind of things that got me really excited, enjoy doing what I do every day, helping small business achieve things that they were struggling, trying to achieve that hadn't been able to.
I appreciate that, Jeff. And then coming back to you, Tiffany, I just want you to help the audience. What's one thing you wish you had known before you started your business?
How many? That's a very loaded question. Number one, that it is a roller coaster, and there are some ups and downs for sure, and being able to kind of navigate that, the highs and lows. So I wish I had been prepared for that. I think another thing would be that you need to be able to pivot. Sometimes you go into a situation thinking this is exactly what it's going to look like, and then you get feedback from your customers and feedback from your community that maybe we need to rethink some things in order for us to continue to serve the clients that we have, and to be open to some tweaks and adjustments based off of what our original plan was. And I think, knowing that is an important component of establishing and continuing a business was something that I wish I had known from the beginning.
Absolutely. Steve?
Yeah. Am I all good? I'm not on mute. Okay. I would just say I wish I knew how many steps and how much the cost it was in many different ways, not just financially, but how many steps and how much what the cost was to actually start a business and do it right. I was very fortunate to have a job that I could kind of step back slowly from as I started the business with Tiffany. And also, I was lucky to have Tiffany as the person I was going into business with, and just her knowledge and expertise going into it, and together, like she said, having that that drive to, or at least a willingness to always be flexible and to see what the market really needs. You might have a great idea, and she had a great idea, but she's really not doing what she started this business as 3 years ago. But as she said, she saw the need and went into it. For me, when I had been doing sorry about that. I've been doing the organization, like physical organization stuff for her, right? Shelves and whatnot. And just kind of morphed in from doing that to doing custom woodworking and then picking up a line. And so just to be flex is like, for both of us, neither of us are what we were doing when we first started. And that's okay. We have found our callings, I believe, together. So just to know that your first idea, don't bank all of it on your first idea. Just be that you want to serve, you have a clientele, and just to know, that it might change and be open to that.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, Steve. And one of the key things that Tiffany said in that, and Steve just reiterated in a story form, was that the one word we got in the military, and that's pivot. You got to learn, you got to know how to pivot, right? So I just want to make sure you understand that for our watchers, if when you get into this space, again, a lot of the terms that you learned in the military are going to be terms that you can use in your business endeavors that can help you be successful. Darcy?
Yeah, to piggyback off of what Steve said, one of the things that I wished I had known, and I mentioned I was started my first company, I was flying professionally. So that gave me sufficient time to start my own business and still have an income to cover my daily living needs. So I was able to do both for quite a while. And the thing that I wished I had known how many free resources were out there. I did not know about the VBOX. I did not know about the PTACs. I did not know about the Apex accelerators. I didn't know that there was a whole network of organizations that could help me as I was learning. In fact, back in the 90s, when the Department of Defense put in their Indian Incentive Program, which helps incentivizes prime contractors to sub to Indians. As an Indian-owned sub, I didn't know that program was out there for 5 years that it was in operation. So webinars back in the 90s when I got started were not prevalent. So learning about these things from outreach and things like that, it was more difficult to find out. But in today's digital atmosphere and digital marketing space, being able to, I don't know if you can set up online like with Jeff or something like that. How do you get notified of upcoming webinars that might help you? But education and getting the word out there is the thing that I wished I'd have known more about.
And Chris, if you don't mind, I would love to echo what he just stated. I was just talking to a tradesman that Steve and I know yesterday, and he was saying that he's a fairly new business, couple years, and he was spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in consulting with a business coach every week. And I said, if you're a bottom line, you can afford that. That's amazing. And he kind of gave me a face. And I said, but there are resources that are available that can go through you with QuickBooks, or can talk to you about, 2Xing and all of these different things. And he was not aware. So I would like to echo what Dossie just said, that there are resources available until you, if you need them, no matter where you are in the process. so that you can get outside knowledge of where you want to be and someone that can help you get there.
Absolutely. And one thing I will share for all the audience members, and I'm going to go over some of the resources towards the end of the presentation. That's again, but if you're going to be a small business in the United States of America and our territories, you should be very familiar with the SBA.gov. Right. You should know that should be bookmarked on your computers, on your phones, because again, they are responsible for all the small business in this great country and our territories. And as a result of that, they will put you in contact with a lot of these various resources that Darcy just highlighted: the Apex Accelerators, the VBOX, the Small Business Development Centers, the Women's Business Centers, right? All of those resources that are available to our veteran and military connected community are all located on SBA.gov. So if you didn't know, you didn't want to search on the web for all these resources, you just go to that one hub and they will direct you to all the other resource partners. So again, you understand that you're not doing this journey by yourself, right? We want to make sure, regardless of what you might see on the internet, they say no one is here to help you. I'm here to tell you today that Chris and the VBOC and our Alaska VBOC are here to help you. And the key thing is, as it relates to resources, because people always want to know about costs. I'm gonna dispel something as it relates to the VBOCs. We are willing to help and work with you for Foxtrot, Romeo, Echo, Echo. Again, if you're not with the phonetic alphabet, that is free. All it requires you to do is sign up, provide some basic information, an email and a phone number, and we want to help you get from A to B. But again, at the end of the day, none of the resources that I'm going to talk to you about or that I'm talking about right now are going to look for you. This is your journey. You need to go and take some action and take some steps to that. So with that being said, Jeff, do you got any advice that you would like to share about? What's one thing you wish you know before you started JLT?
Yes. By the way, I echo what Tiffany say. I have 3 coaches from Business Impact Northwest SBDC, so kudos. I wish I knew the word leverage, because as entrepreneurs, we come out of wherever we were, we always think that we can do better, and then we tend to do everything ourselves. And to a point, we need to learn how to leverage. And because we can be expert in every area of our business, when we're working for an employer, we only focus on one department. When we become a business owner, we're the janitor, the attorney, the CEO, the CFO, and everything, and we try to be good in all of them. That's impossible. So at one point of the business, I had to learn to leverage the expert in those specific areas. That's when my business started to excel. I held my business back through trying to do everything myself. So that's something I wish I knew early on when I first started.
Good. Thanks, Jeff. And then Steve, if can you share like one piece of advice that you would give a business owner today?
Yeah, I will do that. Actually, I was going to just share what Jeff just said, but I wrote down a couple other things too, just to be, and I'm so glad I did, because I had to look, this really, and looked at the experts, not just in running your business, but like in fields like finance and fields like, with like I said, with you guys, with the SBA, because we had one, just, our own ideas, but we kept being challenged in this one area. And I think I was more resistant in it. And when I finally saw it, it was like, oh, this totally makes sense. This is just recently, even, just how to make my business more profitable. And I think I was just resisting because I wasn't listening to the expert that had been there and done those things. So there's that. Also, just when you start off, I would really suggest that you have a really good personal emergency fund, so that you do have some money in the bank for yourself, because starting a business isn't right away. The profits don't come right away a lot of times, and you need to be able to live and support yourself and your family. And that also goes later on in your business to have that business emergency fund, because things do get lean sometimes. So I would do that for sure.
All right, appreciate that, Steve. Tiffany?
I would definitely say to piggyback off of that is relationship building. I think one of the things that is really important is not only to reach out to the experts, but also to reach out to people within your community because it is a how can I help you? The Treasure Valley is very much a relationship building sort of a town, and being able to say, hey, this is what I provide, but also how can I help you? And in turn, eventually others will reciprocate. But building those relationships within your community to support veterans or otherwise can really help for sure.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tiffany. Darcy?
Yeah, a couple of things. One, by way of my background, in case anybody didn't know, I did run the PTAC for 9 years for the Northwest, the native PTAC, working with entrepreneurs and startup. And I saw a couple of the questions in the question box about some of the first things that we should know or consider when starting a business. And I wanted to key on know your own business. Don't say, I can do everything. Like if you're in construction, obviously you don't build bridges and houses, you don't pave streets or do. So if you are in the construction industry, make sure your website, your business cards, and all your marketing key in on what your strong suit is. Same thing with business consulting. I'm a business consultant, but I would never talk to anybody about their website or their finances. That's not what I do. So one of the things as an entrepreneur, as you're starting up, is narrow your focus. And that may be anathema to, oh, I want to grow my business. Great. But you need to key in on what you do and what you do well and what you do better than your competitors.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. And Keandra, just to answer some of your stuff, I see Jeff answer some of your stuff in the chat. Keandra, one thing that I would tell you as it relates to for someone who wants to be an entrepreneur, who doesn't know exactly the direction and how to find your passion, it was mentioned earlier. Tap into the free resources. Again, when I started talking to you here a little bit about some of the things that we offer at Business Impact Northwest, or through the Small Business Administration, or through the Apex Accelerators, right? Our Small Business Development Centers, or SCORE, you can reach out and get these free mentors so they can help you brainstorm your ideas that you currently have and see if it's worth turning it possibly into a business or an entrepreneur journey. So again, you don't have to have the answers right now, and I don't want that to stop you from taking the direction. The first step could be just reaching out to again, a free resource to start brainstorming and get some of these ideas out so they can help guide you, and you can make the determination if entrepreneurship is something that you want to get into. But you don't have to do this by yourself. And then Jeff, I want you to answer this question as well. One piece of advice you would give to a business owner today?
One piece of advice I can give the business owner, I think Tiffany touched it really good there. No matter what business we're in, we are in people business. Get really good at how to relate to people and lots of networking, because the networking allow you to connect with other people as well as understanding people. Sometimes, I don't know, there's a book called Tipping Point. We're only 6 people away, and the person that helped us to be successful is only 6 people away from us. So that networking allow us to learn who we should connect with, to connect to the people that actually can help us get to the level that we wouldn't be able to get before. So people business, always.
Appreciate it, Jeff. And since you're still on camera right now, Jeff, and this is going to be our final question, and then we'll transition to closing out the webinar today. So my final question, Jeff, for you is: can you speak to the mindset that an entrepreneur that might need to come into this space? A lot of times people think they're going to throw a website up, they're going to put a page up, and all of a sudden the business is just going to start rolling in. So I just want you to speak about the mindset, dealing with no's, as you start this journey?
Yeah, so it doesn't roll in like that. You have to be out there sweat, right? That's how starting a business is. You have to be willing to take a lot of no's. I believe there's a infographic out there talk about that you have to go through 12 no's to get one, and you have to follow up 40 sometimes to get a yes. And you have to be able to be beaten like that in terms of mindset. One of the things that I learned is the only people that lose in the race is the people that quit, right? No matter what happened to you, if you have a goal that you set ahead of you, follow that, and that is your why. If you have a why that's big enough, you will overcome anyhow. And putting the website up, your social media, the marketing, those are the hows. Those don't matter if you lose sight of your why you do what you do. And that why is so important, but so many people don't realize it and don't take that as a key. I think Simon Sinek has a really good segment on YouTube, talk about why. He talked about Apple and Microsoft and those guys, why they do what they do. If you can figure out why you do what you want to do and nurture that, and that kind of answer the question about passion earlier, it will help you drive a lot of things that you do. So know your why.
Okay, Jeff. Tiffany?
I would say one, kind of what they were speaking about earlier is, there's only 12 hours, right? Dossie said 12 working hours in a day, and being able to really prioritize what is most important, not only to your business, but also to the customers. And then the very next and most important step is to actually execute. Sometimes we have all of these grand ideas and thoughts and things, but unless we are actually following up with those things in order to grow our business, in order to reach more people within the community, like Jeff was talking about, if we're not actually executing, then it is still kind of stagnant, and we're not getting to where we need to be, and also in order to be in front of the people that we serve.
Steve?
Yeah, so I would say don't diminish yourself or your worth in your product. There's a lot of things that you could feel like imposter syndrome or something, and I felt that here I am going to offer this $20,000 garage job, and I have to keep remembering I'm not selling to myself. I right now couldn't afford that, but I'm selling to somebody that wants this, and this is the value. So whatever you're doing, just don't sacrifice your value. Realize it, hold to it, and just basically that'll come out in your pricing and everything else. So value yourself in your business and your product.
I appreciate that, Steve. And then Darcy?
When you're starting out, and this goes to what Steve and Jeff were saying, I tell people initially when they're an entrepreneur, you're starting your budget and you're looking at your expectations, come up with your budget, a 12-year or 12-month budget, and where are the funds coming from to cover the first 3 to 4 months of operations before you have your first client. You still have insurance, bills, living expenses that you have to pay, whether you have invoices receivable or not. I just helped a young lady over in Ellensburg, Washington, and she had come up with a budget based on X number of paying clients within 30 days, X number within 60. And I talked to her about, what do you expect to receive personally? What is the value of your time? And undervaluing your time and your commitment, go, oh yeah, I can help him with that. How many hours is it going to take? And if you expect to receive $15 an hour, $30 an hour, or $100 an hour, is it realistic? And what is your client? And that goes back to what I said about targeting your specific needs. if you're a PhD engineer and you're going to consult on XYZ, your time may be $3 an hour. But if I am a house cleaner trying to work with a condo association to clean out, my target may be, I personally want to make $47 an hour. So again, setting your realistic budget, what is your time worth? And if a client can't afford that, then either reevaluate yourself or look for new clients. But you're the one that sets your own worth. And if you value your time, your skills, and your knowledge, say, here's what I can provide, here's my cost. And if the client tries to beat you down, show them the door. Because you cannot, if you undersell your time, if you try to buy into a contract, you're going to go out of business.
Well, I appreciate that, Darcy. And so as we get ready to close, again, I want to first say again, thank you to Jeff for a phenomenal presentation today. And then I want to thank Tiffany, Steve, and Darcy for being on the panel and sharing some of their expertise and wisdom with the audience. And then also what I want to just remind the audience of, again, you don't have to do this by yourself. And again, I'm a little biased right now. And Bo, if you could type in our website for the audience so they can get access to Ben's website. Again, I just, would ask that you, go to businessimpactnorthwest.org and see all of the resources that we have available to you for your entrepreneurship journey, whether it's our women's business centers, it's our 2B box, it's our capital readiness program, or if it's our food and farm business services. We have a ton of resources that you all can tap into. And just, I just want you to understand again, you don't have to do this by yourself. All right, there's a ton of agencies out here that want to be successful. And that's evident by our panel that joined us today, and then the presentation from Jeff and him extending some additional resources. Again, this recording will be provided to everybody who registered. And inside of that, once I get the email from Jeff, we will put those additional certificates. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for joining us again for Operation Entrepreneur 2024. To the panelists again, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you joining us today to add value to this discussion this year for National Veteran Small Business Week. Till then, you guys all have a great day. Take care.
Thank you.